Hey, what's up? Wanted to talk to you all today about Jesus. Um, Jesus was a great spiritual teacher, much like Buddha. I think he was greatly misunderstood, um, and I think his words have been pretty much trampled on by his followers. But anyway, he did say some things that I think are appo- appo- applicable to us. And one of those things is that we should consider the lilies of the field. Um, when he said this, that the quote that I'm talking about is in the book of Matthew, and it's during a famous sermon that Jesus preached called the Sermon on the Mount. And he said to consider the lilies of the field. Um, they care not about their raiment. By raiment, he meant like clothing or things like that, material possessions. So, and then he said that the lilies of the field um, don't toil, neither do they spin. And by that, he meant they don't spend a lot of time trying to do things or trying to make things happen or work or worrying about things. Humans are the only creatures on this planet that suffer from a lot of stress and just from our being, and that's because we're in our minds so much. And I think that Jesus knew that people would be much happier if they could spend some time away from their mind and find out who they really are, um, because everybody is connected to the source, which Jesus called his Father or God, and but the source is Father to us all. We're all gods and goddesses. It's all the same thing. We're all spirit. We're connected by something that the way that it manifests is through love. Its energy is love. And people are really missing out on that today. All you have to do if you're suffering from anything, something that will greatly help you, is to get in touch with your inner self, with your true self, your spirit self, and get to a place where you can um, just experience it by itself, without your mind, without your emotions, without your body. So I think that's what Jesus was talking about, that we should open up our hearts and start living from our hearts and stop stressing out about what we're going to wear or what we're going to eat. There's another verse in Matthew where Jesus was talking about the birds not worrying about what they're going to eat. They just they just are, and they show up and do what they do. And we can learn a lot from them by showing up and do what we do without a lot of stress or worry or even thought, um, without concerning ourselves about you know what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, how much money we'll have in our pockets, and things like that. There's a lot to be said for just being, like the trees and the grass, like deer and all wildlife. They just are, and they just do what they do. I think their lesson to us would be to learn to just be And by that I mean being free of mind and body and spirit. I mean, not spirit. Spirit's what we want, but being free of mind, body, and emotions. And I'm not saying that the mind and the body or emotions are bad things, but I think it's useful to us to take a little break from them from time to time and just be with our true selves. And that also helps the mind and the emotions keep from getting out of hand. You have better control over them if you give yourself a break from them from time to time. So I think that that's all that Jesus was talking about, not to worry so much about the material things, and also not to look outward for what you need, when what you need is inside of yourself. I hope you can find that for yourself today. Much love. Namaste.